Good morning, and happy June 1st. And we all know what that means. It's time for Creep on June. Yay! Okay, so we know I've already been doing some preparation work. We made some grungy flowers. We put our calendar in here. And I don't remember. Oh, we dyed some pages together. That's what we did. So what I did this morning was I went ahead and did the signature covers with the scrapbook paper. Now this one, number one, I forgot to spray ink this one when I was dyeing papers. So it's going to be a little bit of an anomaly in this. Also, I did have a third sheet that was big enough with this one, but as a signature cover, I was like, I don't want to use it. I think this image was on this side, I would use it, but it's not, so I'm not. So there's that. So I scored it at 6, scored this one at 6, and I'm just going to leave it as a 2-piece and probably leave this in the back as well. I may trim this down and just glue it, but I thought that would make a nice tuck as well. We'll see as we work on it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you guys know how excited I have been for Creep on June. I will say there's not a story this year. So you don't have a story to spin like I did last year. If you were not a part of my channel last year, oh my gosh, I had so much fun with the Craftly Haul story. Oh my gosh, it was a riot. So after this month and this month's Creep on June is all over, if you want some entertainment, I suggest going and watching my 2024 Creep on June videos. I had so much fun. Anyway, okay, so I have prepared an envelope with some ephemera. I didn't print out all of the pages of ephemera, but as I use these, if I need more, of course I can print more. So I have these at the ready. Also, I have taken the bases, because there's the journal pages, which I've already put into the journal. There's the ephemera, which I've cut up, and there are the bases. So these are the bases. And I started to cut them out, and then I thought, well, wait a minute, I don't know exactly what I want to do with each of the days. So I felt like if I went ahead and cut them out, it took away options. So I do have day 1. Now 1 is listed as 1B. There is no 1 or 1A as there are in other pages, which I will show you. This piece of ephemera, I printed the right way and I flipped it in case I wanted to back it or use it in different ways. So you're able to do this, like when you go to print it, you can flip it, I think it's horizontally, but it will show up on your screen. So you can play with that setting on your printer with these images. If you want them to face a different direction, just flip it and it'll print for you. So that's in there and ready to go. That is a scrap. I will just show you quickly. I'm not going to go through the whole month because I'm sure that Tracie's going to, I would imagine Tracie's going to do that in her video. For reference, today is May 29th. So I'm trying to get ahead of it a little bit. So this is day 1. This is day 2. Day 2 has 2 pages. So on the version I have, this says day 2. I think on the kit that went out, it doesn't. But if you look at the labels of each page, it will say 2 and 2B. Okay. So I've paper clipped those so I know they go together. Day 3, days 4 and 5 are all single. Day 6 I have clipped together, so 6B, and then I've put notes on them. You guys know I do that, or those of you who follow me know that when I'm flipping through a kit, a lot of times I'll just put notes on the pages as I'm brainstorming, or even when I'm fussy cutting, I'll leave some of that white on the edge with a note that says, hey, what about this? So setting that aside, because we are on day 1. So at midnight in the month of June, I stand beneath the mystic moon. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore. So we have this really fun coin envelope, and I haven't done anything to it. I just folded it. And that was part of my brainstorming process the other day when I was working with the kits. So these are some of the pieces here. And I know there was, a mystic moon. Also a mystic moon. Ooh, and she is standing beneath the mystic moon. But she's standing at the roar. Stand amid the roar of a surf, tormented shore. So those are some moons. That is like a river. Oh, here we go. He's at the shore. Okay, that's an option. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you this, whenever I start to use this image, I can already tell you right now, my brain has gone crazy with the little skeleton in the dress. So again, ooh, now that one looks like there would be roaring. Okay, that's it. That's the one. Okay, all right. Fun. Okay. So is that going to work on there? No. But that doesn't mean it won't work. We just need a background. We need something to make it stand off the page. Okay, so I have to figure out how I'm going to make this work and how I am going to bring this particular piece to life and where we want to put it in the journal. I thought there was a different image I wanted for this day. Oh, I love that. Okay, just flipping through the ephemera pieces. Oh, the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. I went ahead and printed out more ephemera. I didn't print it all out to begin with. Now I'm like, why not? But, so this is a new image I printed. And the way I was like just cutting it out of the middle of the page. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like a Polaroid. So we have a Polaroid of this creature standing on the surf of the tormented shore under the mystic moon. Now, how many other people are using this image for this particular day? I would venture to say quite a few. So this is a coin envelope, and I've been sitting here and playing with it and playing with it and playing with it. What do I do it like this and have this as a flip? So I think I'm going to, even though I already like stenciled that, but I really like that stencil, so I'm thinking I may put this over a page somewhere and have this showing. I may have to stabilize it because it is 32-pound paper, which makes it more stable, but I think we need it a little bit stronger if I'm going to use it as a tuck. Why are you there? You don't go there. I don't know why that's there. So we just need a place to put it. And I don't know where I want to put it, but we are going to make it as a little flippy outy thingy. And do we have anybody? Who is this creature? I don't even know where this creature is on my pages, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe he's back here. Oh, I know what that is. That's there for a reason. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Oh yeah, I got to deal with that too. Okay. Ooh, will it fit on there? No. Okay. I'll figure out where I'm going to put this and then I'll come back. Oh my goodness, my nerves are getting the best of me, I got to tell you. Okay, so we have here, I figured out where I want to put it. There's this algebra page, and I used some algebra pages because I feel like with the research and everything that went in, there's some configurations that happened, some mathematical things that happened as far as like the chemistry of these creatures being created. Bear with me. I'm still working on it. Okay, so I have him, and I have this piece of the gray craft stock left from making my game board the other day. And so somehow I want to mount him on this. I'm contemplating folding this in half and cutting a window out and then having it just like he's a window, but I really don't want to lose the Polaroid effect of this piece. But we have a couple different things. I have to do some stamping on him, and I want to age this piece just a little. I don't want to like totally distress it because I do want the Polaroid effect. And I was thinking in here, this will fit nicely as a window if we put a tab on it. our piece for today, I think I'm going to put on here, and then of course we're going to decorate. Now this is a coin envelope, but I'm not going to use it for that. I'm going to use this as a side tuck. So we're going to notch this out, and it looks like I didn't do a great job when I cut that, which is not surprising because we all know Jody cannot cut a straight line. So I just want to trim that up a little bit and hope I don't mess it up too bad. Let's see what the trimmer says. Oh yeah, trimmer said, Jody, you didn't cut a straight line at all. Okay, and oh, okay. Anyway, so I'm just gonna ink this, and I know I'm gonna notch this out as a pocket, so I'm thinking I maybe want to just stabilize this a smidge. So I just usually will take like a strip of book page, and even that's totally big enough, and just tear a strip and glue it, put it on. That's going to stabilize that edge for putting things in and out. It's not necessary. I just feel like it makes your page stronger, and I have a thing about that. So yeah, if you're new here, I have my little quirks, and I do some interesting things once in a while. And that's just me being really self-conscious because I know how big Creep on June is. And again, I'm super struggling. I need to just breathe and know that whatever I do is going to be perfectly fine. And I am just going to allow myself to play this month. So whatever we do with these pages, we're going to play. As if you had watched the prep videos, I already brought a skeleton out, and there's a skeleton in here. There's definitely going to be skeletons. I really like that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this strip down so that that's the top of our pocket. And then when we flip this up, we'll be able to decorate the back side as well. I intend for this to be a very interactive journal with lots of fun little things in here. I know it's the first, and I know that Tracie and I are playing the Vines and Ladders game, but I just decided I'm going to roll actually on the first and post it in the Facebook group. I'm not going to try to do that in my videos again because this is, I don't even know, I already said what day it is, I can't remember. But if I try to roll today, and today's the 29th, so if I try to roll today for the first, and then I think it's just going to get really convoluted if I'm trying to roll and do it and have it, and then and try to communicate that through the videos. I just don't think that's going to work. I thought about making this little flappa tuck. I thought that would be kind of cool as well. Ooh, so maybe, he's standing on the shores. He's all like, I don't understand what's happening to me. What's happening? What's happening? But maybe this guy is watching from above, like, ha, 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 ha. Maybe. Let me see what else I printed. My printer is doing its thing. For those of you who have the Epson EcoTank and you have issues like, was it in this signature? Let me find the page. Leave that open there. That's what I'm working on. If you have issues, oh my gosh, what signature is it in? Because I was definitely going to make sure I told you. Well, we'll get there. If your printer stops printing in the middle of a page and it leaves you with white space that makes you like crazy because your printer just decides it's going to take a nap in the middle of printing, it does that. And from what I could figure out, that is a loss of connection to your Wi-Fi. And even just a fleeting moment of a loss of a connection will do it. And you just have to, it'll like say pause on your printer, and then you just resume. It's going to reprint that page most likely. Mine does. So I will say with relative certainty, there it is, this one, with certainty that yours is just going to resume printing and have that page. Sometimes it's an okay mistake, and sometimes it makes me insane. It especially makes me insane. Oh, what page was I working on? This one. When I walk away and I'm not babysitting my printer and it does that, that infuriates me because I'm like, I try to do more than one thing at once most of the time. Okay, so who is watching from the top of the bluffs? That's the question. Oh, she's really wicked. I love her. I love her a lot. Okay, let me see what else I printed. Oh, for example, it did it on this. But I just put these on the backs because these are ephemera pieces and I'm either going to back them or just put them on a page. Yes, this guy, he's watching. So he's down below. He's like over here on the edge where you can't see him. And he's observing. This is Poe. And Poe's like, what would be standing there under this midnight moon, a summer moon? And Poe's like, how can I twist this into my story? So he is standing right here with the surf crashing on the rocks, and he's so deep in thought, and his mind's going crazy about this creature, and he's big and he's furry and he's scary with these long fangs. And he hears something howling in the background, and he goes, ooh, a werewolf. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Probably not, but that's okay. It's going to continue for the whole month if I can get in a groove with making up stories as we go along here. Okay, so he's going to go on here. Where's my other scissors? Yeah. Yep. I don't know why I'm inclined to leave these white edges because I don't ever do that. But I know like the old pictures have the white edges around them, and for some reason I'm enthralled by that today. And I think that because this is such a dark background, I'm liking that maybe. I'm not sure. Now, just be aware, I'm not going to sit here and cut out all kinds of ephemera throughout the month. I'm just brainstorming in this one. And I tend to do this off camera. But if you're new to my channel, I want you to know kind of upfront how my brain works. And I'm not one of those super organized crafters that can come up with a plan and then it's like, oh, you have a plan and you execute that plan beautifully and flawlessly. That is not me. I'll tell you right now that I truly allow my squirrels to run wild. I don't try to keep myself in check when I'm creating. If I get an idea in the middle of something, I will stop my sentence and take a left-hand turn and we don't even know where we're going. And some of my best creations come from doing that. So please just give me a chance if you're new here. For those of you who know me and love my quirks, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I am really nervous, so I need to just stop. Okay, so do I want to put this as a little, like make that a little tuck, and then I'll have him inside here as a tuck? I think that would be really cool. And maybe I will stop trying to use that as a pocket. That would probably help me. I think that's a cleaner look for the darkness. I like it. We need more, obviously, on the background. And this is not going to stay bright white. We're going to do something with that as well. So I've been sitting here and working on my composition for a really long time. It's taking me a while to kind of like find my groove, get in a groove. So this is a die cut I made. So this is out of my stash. I cut it with my Cricut, whatever. This little bat here is from a Stampin' Up set, Bag of Bones, which is a super fun set if you love little skeletons. So you're going to see stuff out of that. But the tiny little bat is here. And so I made this as a little journaling card, and I stamped the back of it with, I don't know what the name of the stamp set is, but it is a like a writing one. So we'll be using this quite a bit as well with the pins and all of that in here. I'm going to have an avalanche. So I just stitched some lace on the edge of that to make that a side tuck. And I thought it was fun because the book page that I backed this image to had the words "the inside dark," and I thought, well, how cool is that? So I left it. I do want to add more to this front page. I'm not sure. Oh, so I just took the edge of my book here. And I just did a little bit of script stamp on it. And I'm going to tear that off. I don't need a lot of it. See, I haven't even gotten to the monster yet because I'm just like, I need a groove. I just need a groove. I want to tear this to be like kind of at an angle down, I think. And that's a little too wide. So I'm going to just come down and wonky tear it, which is totally fine. I don't even need that much actually, just to add a little bit of interest to the side of this. Hopefully I can lift him up enough without damaging him to slide this under there and just put a little something along the edge of this picture. And I actually think that is still a bit too wide. So can we cut a straight line? We all know I can't. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of scorched timber to this. I just want it to be like worn and old, and I have stuff like this in my stash. I'm going to have to go on a seek and find mission when I'm done with this video, because I keep pulling things out that I hadn't thought of to use in this make, and I don't have time to go on a seek and find every time I'm trying to make. I mean, it's going to happen in terms of, oh, I forgot I had XYZ, and I'll go looking for it. Like the little bats in this stamp set, stamp and die set, like I knew I had them. It just didn't occur to me when I was cutting bats on my Cricut the other day to get the tiny ones out. I didn't think I would need them, but I absolutely need them. So just things like that. Maybe sit and look at the kit and figure out like what inspires you to work, what comes to your mind. Oh my gosh, I do like that. Now that just added a little bit of interest to the left side of this. Everything was on the right. It was really bothering me for like the book, but just that little bit of script there, I'm happier with that. It breaks up the harsh line as well of this being a pocket. I did back that on 2 layers of book page. So what I did was just like glued him on, folded it in half, glued the 2 pages together, and cut around it just to stabilize him for this to be a pocket in and out. So that makes me feel so much better. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew. I'm not going to worry about sewing right here because the curve is a little hard, but I do want to add some stitching to this. I think I'll be fine with that as well. Then we can move on to our piece that's going to go in that spot. And we also have to deal with the white space that is this algebra page. So I'll think about what I want to use for that. And then I'll come back. Okay, so I have my weathered wood distress ink here. Hopefully it's the color that I think it is when I do this. Ouch. I'm just gonna smush. It's probably hard for you to see. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Maybe. I get a little bit of water. I don't want a lot. I don't want to get it super wet. I have a little mister bottle somewhere, spritzer bottle. I just have to find it. A cardboard cut my thumb this morning, so I apologize for the band-aid, but it was really hurting me. So I covered it and put a band-aid on it. Oh, that's nice. That's the color I thought it was. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do this with a couple layers, and I think I'll do black soot, and then we need another color just for a little bit of a nuance in there. Or if I can get multiple layers of the dark gray on there, I think that's going to look really cool with that. And this is attached because I'm stabilizing that flap. I'm letting that dry while we work on this. Oh my goodness, you guys, I love it so much. So I started with distress ink and weathered wood. Then I went to distress oxide and weathered wood because these are going to give you different colors, but you want to start with your ink and put your oxide on top. Then I went to black soot, and I was dragging my torn edges. Like my bottom edge, you can see here is not a torn edge, but my torn edges, this is a factory edge. These are the torn edges. The torn edges just soaked up that oxide so well. And I have a little bit left here on my palette, so I'm just going to get my fan brush wet and splatter some on there. And I don't want to waste that ink, so I'm not going to. I am just going to try not to get this all over my shirt. This is not a totally junky shirt. Okay, so then that just gives us a little more interest to the page. And then I'm just going to pick a page in here, this one maybe, and just mop up the rest. Just mop it up, and then it's going to dry. And then that just gives us some interest to that page, and we'll just deal with it when we get there. I'm just going to let that one air dry. I'm not that worried about it. Is there anything left on here? Yep. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Just for some interest. And that may dry super light. We may not even see that when it dries, but it's a way to kind of not waste your product. I tend to try to keep like scrap paper laying here to mop stuff up with. Oh my gosh, there's another big truck. Can stop saying So just the smoosh technique. The more water you add, do not get your ink pads wet. Please do not get your ink pads wet. So smoosh it on your surface. If you don't have a glass mat, these Dollar Tree cutting boards, I use them a lot and they work just fine. Mine need cleaned, but you can smoosh on these with your inks. It's fine. Just make sure if you need more ink, you dry your area before you smoosh your ink pad back down. You don't want to ruin your inks. Okay, so there's that. So that is so great. I love how that turned out. So this will go over the top of the page here. Let's just trim that off. And we still have to do our werewolf tag in here. I do need to go down and make lunch. This is taking me a lot longer to get into a groove than I had anticipated. And again, it's nerves. Totally my nerves. Which is so silly. So silly. Okay. Yep. And then we're not going to see this bottom side, so I'm not that worried about the bottom side. And I didn't glue that whole thing. I just got to make sure that it is dry enough to pull it off. And it is. It's fine. I mainly just wanted that outer edge stabilized because that's where things will go in and out of. The sides will be glued to the page. It's going to be fine. So it's going to be on here like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, and all that peeking out of there is wonderful. Now we have options here. I can leave this as a flip up, which was my intent, and we can decorate this side and decorate this base. I could also glue this and make this another pocket. I'm not going to do that. Could tuck up from the bottom. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is just paper clip this on here for right now. We're going to work on our dude, and the way I did my ink in here, oh geez, my glue in here, I don't want my tag to be any bigger than 4.5. That way I've got room in there to move. So and once you glue it down, you don't measure outside to outside. You want to come in where you kind of know your glue is, and I went on both sides of the zigzag, and so I'm just guesstimating about 4.5 inches for that. Okay, so then we have this. I got out my field notes because we have like number and the specimen and collection and stuff like that. So I definitely want to give him some interest and ink around these white edges. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, I had a total disaster with my black soot. I had taken the lid, unscrewed the lid just to do a couple black splatters, and it spilled, and then it was black on black. Ah, such a mess. So I used my pipette to mop up as much as I could, which was a total mess. And then I sprayed it with water and mopped up on some pages. So these are drying. They're going to be darker than I had intended them to be. Hopefully they'll dry lighter. Thank goodness for gesso. And we'll see what happens. But I have a little piece of cardstock here. I have a Joyce Meyer Ministry envelope here that was already like a gray base. And so I was planning to use it in this anyway. But it was like the first envelope I found to start mopping up the ink. I cannot believe I did that. Oh, yes, I can believe it. It's me. The things that happen. Okay, so we have our day, and it's going to go on here. I have to finish drying this. I splattered out of the pipette too, just trying to get some interest on this page, but I think it'll take other colors well still. It's not a big deal. I did some black soot and barn door stain splatters on this. And, you know, if you want to splatter, but you're like, oh, I don't want to get my images all, you know, splattered, you want to still be able to see, I put this over the skeleton or the skull and crossbone face. I put this over the body and this over the bat just to keep those splatters off of those images. And then the rest of it I wasn't really concerned about. I did pull my pieces out of the pockets because I didn't want to splatter those. And then, so we have our card. This is what I settled on. I did phone a friend because I did stamping down here and I ended up not liking it at all. So that's in there. What I did forget to do and work into this is my one for day one make. How could I forget that? So hopefully going forward, I will be not as nervous or whatever is going on. It's annoying, and can get through these makes without such a struggle, because I had to walk away for a little while, went down and had lunch, came back up, spilled the black soot, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done. I'm so done. But you know, I try to keep it real with you guys and share with you. There's always ups and downs in the creative space. Why am I trying to be delicate with this number? This whole page I printed for this purpose. Anyway, I do try to be real with you, and the struggle is totally real today, and I'm just a nervous wreck, and I'm just having a hard time. Like, I never, number one, if I was unscrewing the lid on that bottle, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm not going to set it where I'm going to inadvertently whack it with my hand. And I sure did. And I'm like, oh, Jody. Okay, so he's going to be all glued down. Like, I'm not going to be able to get that in there any. Ooh, now I could there. I could cut that, like, let's do it. And just sneak the little one in here like that. I wish I could get that behind his little crossbone there. Let's just do it like this. If I can get it in far enough, you're not really gonna, well, that didn't do me any good. Let's go like this. I was trying to keep the frame on it so that I could work it in there, but there we go. It's just kind of in there as our day one make. So then when we go through this later and do our flip through, now we know what day that is. And it doesn't have to be like a super prominent piece. I just want it to be a piece in the background or the make, or even as part of the collages so that we can see them. That is the goal. Don't use art glitter glue. I'm going to use barely art glue so I have just a couple seconds longer to maneuver this. So, how are you guys all feeling about this? So cute. One of the subscribers, and I don't recall the name, I do apologize. She took off 2 days from work for the month of June so that she could focus on making Creep on June. And I was like, that is some dedication and excitement right there. I just thought that was really cool that she said that and shared that. Okay, that's not bad. I got it tucked in there. It's fine. So that's day one on the make. And, you know, I could have put it on there, stamped it on there, and I may end up stamping as we go through for the numbers. It just may depend on the kind of make, what we're doing, those sorts of things. So this piece, we have our little pocket here. We have our pocket here. This is going to flip up. We can do something on the back here. We've got space here. And then when this page opens, stay in there, werewolf, we have our flap, which I also, because when I spilled the black, it soaked up. So I did some red on it as well, which I actually think is kind of a cool effect. And I did think about putting some trim across there. but I don't know if I'm going to yet. I guess it'll depend on when we get to that page and whatever we decide to do with it. So that is a very chaotic day one for Creep on June. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I hope that we're able to get through this without more mishaps like this. But again, it's a grungy journal. I'm going to embrace the errors and mistakes. It is just part of it. And I am missing a piece here. No, I'm not, because I like this together. I didn't stick anything in there, I think, is what's going on. Oh, I really like this. That ties those pages together. Mopped up that gray there, so that's cool. And by moving or refolding our page and giving this a little more room, now when this is sewn in, it's not going to be completely in that spine and bind. So I like that. Yeah. And then this is going to open. Got him. Yep. Good deal. Okay, and that dried really neat. Just looks like I took pencil all over it, but I didn't. Okay, you guys, well, I will see you in the next video. Please remember to leave comments, like, share, subscribe, all those wonderful fun things. Hopefully you will enjoy this series. I will get my act together for a cleaner way to say what I was about to say. And the rest of this will hopefully be a little more seamless. Anyway, so we'll see what we make. I'm excited. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow. Bye.